What's happening, YouTube? Jonathan Pariente, the Education 10 here, coming at you guys with another video. I want to ask you guys to please continue to check and subscribe to my channel for more YouTube videos. Now, today's video is about the Yankees. Now, normally I would talk about where they are in the standings and their playoff push, but not today, not for this one. Major League Baseball announced that the Yankees next year will play a very, very special game next year at a very special place. Now, we have seen baseball throughout the past few years host games in not just here in the United States, but internationally as well. We've seen baseball games played in Japan, in Montreal, Canada, in Mexico, in Puerto Rico, I believe in Cuba as well. We've had a couple of games in some popular American sites like in Williamsport, where they play the Little League World Series. We've seen games played at the famous Army base in Fort Bragg. And we already had a game played for the first time in London, England this year. But next year, we're going to have the game of baseball for one day held at a very special place. The Yankees will play the White Sox next year on August 13th, 2020. Well, at a very special site that I'm amazed that Major League Baseball never had it here before. And I talked about it for quite a while about why they've never played a game on this very site. Well, now my wish is getting granted, as probably a lot of people's wishes are getting granted. And I'm going to briefly play a little song to kind of maybe give you an idea where the game will be held. And here it is. Take a good listen. Yes. Iowa. If you build it, he will come. Ease his pain. Go the distance. Is this heaven? It's Iowa. The field of dreams. And I guess you couldn't ask for a better place to have a game. And for the very first time, Major League Baseball will finally have a game on the very site of the 1989 film, The Field of Dreams. Now, for those of you that have never seen the film or don't know about it very much, I'll briefly explain it. The film stars Ray Kinsella, and it's based on a true story by W.P. Kinsella. Kevin Costner plays Ray Kinsella, who's a farmer in Iowa. His father, John Kinsella, was a baseball player, but he never made it to the majors. He played in the minors his whole career. The two of them had a very big falling out when Ray basically said to his dad, "I could never respect a man whose hero was a criminal." His dad's hero was Shoeless Joe Jackson, who was one of 8 players that got suspended from the game of baseball forever for throwing the 1919 World Series. I could go through every one of the 8 names of the players that were involved. I could, but I'm not going to. Basically now, he and his dad had a falling out. And before Ray could apologize to his dad to take back what he said, his dad died. So now, fast forward when Ray is working on his cornfield in Iowa, he hears a voice that says, "If you build it, he will come." Now, we don't really know the true meaning of who it was that he will come if he builds it. The voice told him to build a baseball field, and that his father's idol, Shoeless Joe Jackson, will come. Skeptical at first, Ray builds the field. Shoeless Joe Jackson does come. And not just him. All the other 7 players that were banned showed. Then other baseball players showed. And very slowly the field began to kind of receive a little notoriety for it being built, even though it was something Ray thought he would never do. But it's not until the very end of the film, and when Shoeless Joe actually even says the same term, if you build it, he will come, the real person Ray needed to see was his father. And his father reappeared on the Field of Dreams. Of course, Ray has a lot of things on his mind now, taking back what he said to his dad years ago, and how can he make up for lost time? So he meets his dad. His dad eventually meets his family. And finally, probably the most iconic ending to the film that I think we'll ever see, and, tears at everyone's heartstrings a little bit, was when Ray and his father had a catch at the very end. And of course, as part of every father and son type thing growing up when you're young, having a catch with your dad, even if regardless what it is, 2 of them had a catch, playing catch throughout the night. And as it's going on, lines of cars begin appearing at Ray's field. Because at the end of the film, they said people will come. And not only did people come to the field, oh my goodness, they came in droves. So I think it's only fitting now that finally, after 30 years when this film was made, that now their very field is actually going to host a real game. And I'm sure the crowd, the population of Iowa was looking forward to it, as really the whole baseball world's looking forward to it. So mark the date down on August 13th, 2020, in Dyersville, Iowa, on the very site of the Field of Dreams, a temporary ballpark will be built that will seat 8,000 people. So you can imagine tickets are going to be very, very limited for this game. 8,000 will pack the ballpark in Iowa, from celebrities, from kids, from aunts, from uncles, from parents, from grandparents, great-grandparents, second cousins, you name it. Fathers, sons, mothers, daughters. Everyone will pack this field in what I think will be a very... not only exciting game, but like a very magical game. You know what they always say about Disney World, you have to see it once in your life. Well, you have to go to the Field of Dreams once in your life when you have a chance, particularly if you're a baseball fan. So finally, for the first time, the Field of Dreams will have a major league game. And I think you wonder why it took this long. Well, now I think we see why. And I'm only looking forward to what this is going to mean for baseball. And, are other teams going to eventually go there? I think we'll see it. And I like what Manfred's doing with this, finally having the game go outwards from other cities that don't have a baseball team, really, that don't really have a baseball crowd, but it's good to have it in iconic areas where baseball was really immortalized at. So for the Field of Dreams to have this finally is really going to be an exciting night. It will be packed, it'll be rocking. I don't know how they're going to fit 8,000 people. I think it's going to be way more than that, even in a small town like Iowa. But I think this is a good direction for the game, and I think we need to see more kind of feel-good moments like this, to have a game held in a place like this. So, 2020, guys, August 13th, people will come. People will come to Dyersville, Iowa for the Field of Dreams game to be held on August 13th, 2020. Yankees and the White Sox. It will only be one game. It's not going to be a 3-game series. It'll be just one game. And the White Sox will be treated as the home team for this game. Should be very exciting. As many of us, I think, are looking forward to it. Jonathan Pariente, Education 10, saying bye for now.